There it goes. Okay. So, earlier, I was trying really hard to get my computer to let me record with my webcam. And I was using VLC. I'm gonna have to like tweak it more and try to figure out why exactly it did what it did. But it decided to record 1 minute of video as I talked for 20 minutes. So, slightly aggravated, but it is now 4:30 a.m. and I want to make a quick video and actually get this out of my system because I was so pumped to do it, and my computer ate the video. But maybe the second time is the charm, or the third time in this case, because it ate my other video too. But derp is here. So, I wanted to talk about tokophobia. And if you don't know what tokophobia is, it is, I'm going to find the other definition because there's the Wikipedia definition, but it's not quite as good as the definition over on allaboutcounseling.com. Their definition is worded just a little better and is also not just Latin roots that irritate me. But tokophobia is an extreme and uncontrollable fear of childbirth or pregnancy. While pregnancy is expected to be a time when women can experience long bouts of anxiety, I think I lost it. That is not the right definition. Go me. Anyway, it's 4 a.m. I messed up. If I can find it. There it is. No. I have too many tabs open. That's what the problem is. Too many tabs. But that's another thing about tokophobia. It's something that is not commonly known. So to find information about it, you have to look at all these different sites to get all the information you want. I mean, like currently I have 6 tabs open, all about tokophobia, just to get the information that I want. But, I found the definition, okay? It is, tokophobia is a pathological fear of pregnancy and can lead to avoidance of childbirth. It can be classified as primary or secondary. Primary is a morbid fear of childbirth in a woman who has no previous experience of pregnancy. Secondary is morbid fear of childbirth developing after a traumatic obstetric. I got it right that time. I messed it up like 4 times in the other video. Obstetric event in a previous pregnancy. A case of tokophobia with depression. Okay, so slight context is that the page that I found this definition on is actually a case study about someone who experienced tokophobia after being pregnant, or while being pregnant. I haven't read the whole thing. But it's a case study, or a case report, my bad, about an older lady. Or no? Actually, it looks like it's about a midwife. No, housewife. My bad. An older lady that was pregnant and then had tokophobia. Okay. But, basically tokophobia is the fear of childbirth and pregnancy, and all the things to do with that. And, primary tokophobia is tokophobia that develops, before you, like, have never been pregnant. Primary tokophobia is what you have if you've never been pregnant, but you're terrified of it. Secondary is if you've been pregnant and then you develop tokophobia from either having a traumatic event during the pregnancy, or just having something bad happen, or having a lot of anxiety, things like that. So that's sort of the basis of it. And can't remember if there was another thing over here that was actually the thing I was going to read. So, there are symptoms of tokophobia, or at least this site lists these symptoms. I know there are more than this, but this actually, this particular list of symptoms, some of them are meant to be towards people that have not been pregnant before, and some of them are about people that have either been pregnant or are pregnant. So here we go. It says, if left untreated, tokophobia can only become more intense and damaging. Not only can this disorder lead to an elective termination of some pregnancies because of fear, but the psychological stress attendant with the disorder can often be damaging to a pregnancy even if the woman does not elect to terminate it. Furthermore, tokophobia may only be a byproduct of other emotional and behavioral disorders such as clinical depression. Some of the more apparent indicators of tokophobia include feelings of dread or panic when the idea of childbirth or pregnancy arises, refusing to go through with childbirth unless elective cesarean section can be guaranteed, an intense increase in anxiety or depression while pregnant, expressing a strong desire to have children while also refusing to become pregnant, previous terminations of apparently healthy pregnancies, intense fear that childbirth will result. Can't talk today, but it is like 4 a.m. So just bear with me. This is the last one. Intense fear that childbirth will result in maternal death, stillbirth, miscarriage, or birth defects. Okay, so I can understand a lot, like most of those. Well, actually all of those. There are a couple other things I wanted to read, and then I'll actually tell you about what I go through and basically what I experience, because I'm tokophobic, and it's kind of common knowledge at this point that I'm tokophobic. My whole family knows. But I'm over on Wikipedia because they do have some good info and stuff. Because it's Wikipedia, they know everything. But on Wikipedia, they actually give you a few quotes from people that have tokophobia, and I relate to all of these so very hard. First one is, the truth is that the very thought of having something almost alien-like growing inside me is disgusting. I agree. It's not too strong to say that the very thought of childbirth disgusts me in a big way. I can agree with that. It's much more than an anxiety. I am actually physically repulsed by pregnancy and childbirth. I can also agree with that. I even struggle to be around friends when they are pregnant, and can't bear to watch or listen to anything about the process of having a baby. I'm okay with being around people that are pregnant. That doesn't bother me too much. I don't really want to do the whole head to the ear to the belly thing. That kind of bothers me a bit. I don't like talking about it. I don't like hearing about it in depth. For me, I know I don't want to have kids. If we're to have kids, we're gonna adopt. I'm okay with that. We'll probably adopt slightly older kids, because my tokophobia extends a bit further than just with pregnancy. I actually, the thought of pregnancy terrifies me to no end. And I also don't really feel comfortable around infants. I'm really not comfortable around around anyone until they are old enough to communicate, to talk. That's when I start to feel comfortable around people. But for me, I definitely would prefer to adopt. I do take birth control to make sure that I don't have to deal with this, because the very thought does not sit well with me. If I were to ever get pregnant, I would be for sure put on suicide watch, because that's the first thing that my brain goes to whenever I think about being pregnant. It scares me that much. I don't want it that much. And I just, it's so weird to me that it seems like the more I read about it, the less uncommon it is. And it's like society wants to sweep it under the rug because it's not considered normal. Like, there's a lot of people that are just, oh, we don't want to have kids. But tokophobia is just, it's on a different level than that. It's, we don't want to have kids because it's terrifying. I think that there are a lot of people that probably struggle with this and don't know about this and don't know what it's called, because it's actually slightly difficult to get any decent information, because there's not a concise, consolidated webpage for everything. It's kind of spread everywhere. I probably said that before. But I do want to say that if you have tokophobia and you're dealing with this, there's nothing, like, bad about you. Like, people like to make you think that you're bad for not wanting to have kids, and I think that's really crappy. They should not do that. I know it's happened to me before. People say, oh, you'll change your mind. Oh, you're young, you'll change your mind. And they do it so much that I expect them to do it, and I'm actually kind of amazed when people don't do that when they find out. And it's like, oh, thank God. I don't have to explain this in depth. I don't have to explain why I don't want to have kids when someone's like, oh, okay. It's like brain explosion. And just complete relief when people are like, oh, okay, it's your body, do what you want. But that's another thing. If there's someone, like a family member or something, pressuring you about having kids and you don't want to have kids, they're in the wrong. It's not you. You're not in the wrong, it's your body. You should be able to choose if you do or if you don't want to have kids. But this is an important topic to me just because it's part of my daily life, and I've had to explain it so much that it's just almost automatic at this point. Like, no, I don't want to have kids, I'm tokophobic. What's tokophobia? What's this? And you just have to explain how bad it is, and then half the time they'll be like, oh, why don't you get treatment for it? And then another part of it's just like, I don't want kids, because that's another part of it. I'm not mother material, I guess. I'm not comfortable with the thought of having to raise something like that, and I'm not in a financial situation where I want to raise something like that. Well, not something, a baby, I know. They don't click with me. I don't think babies are cute. They're just not cute to me. Slightly terrifying, but not terrifying like scary, just like uncomfortable. Slightly creepy. Which I know it sounds so bad if you don't have tokophobia and you don't understand, and you're not, if you love babies, it's not something you want to hear, which is usually why people freak out. But, I mean, it's not like you want to hurt them or anything. I mean, I would never want to hurt a kid or a toddler or anything like that. I just don't want to interact with them. So, there's that. But it's not a hate. It's like an, I don't want to deal with that, I'm uncomfortable with that. But I'm just rambling now because it's almost 5. So hopefully this video has informed you a little bit. I know sometimes I get rambly. But I'm just trying to compose myself since I am kind of tired. Hopefully you can hear me okay, hopefully the video is okay, and is slightly informative. I will try to link all of my sources, at least in my blog if I don't get them in my YouTube, because I'm recording this on my phone and all of my sources are on my computer, so I might take a minute to get my sources onto my YouTube. So you might see the video. If you see the video right as it's uploaded, there might not be sources on it. It might be a little bit longer. But when I post this to my blog, I'm going to post my sources on my blog right away with the video. If there's anything, any topic you want me to cover that you think I would be okay at covering, let me know, and I will do my best to get those in the queue. I do definitely want to talk about some of my favorite things, which are strange prehistoric creatures like Pterygotus, Anomalocaris, and probably a few other things. I found a really weird creature I want to talk about, and I know it's not weird, it's just something that we don't talk about much in the US, because I don't think it's something in the US, but it's that thing, it's called a living rock on some sites, but it's like this little ocean-dwelling creature that looks like a rock, and if you cut it open, it's like got meat inside. But a lot of people seem to have those on strange creature list, and I want to learn as much as I can about it, and then make a video so that other people know about it, because it's weird and I want to know more about it. And that's basically how my brain works. It's strange. It interests me. I must learn about it. I will stop rambling now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I am gonna go to bed. And Derp says bye.